Breaking news, this just in. You're listening to the cosmic, world-breaking, magnificent, multiversal, mega-talented news anchors, the superhero homies. And this is Comic News.
I'm so glad you did that, because I'll be honest, man, I was about to be like, just hit the button. Like, no cold open. We got to talk about that trailer. I don't want to blue balls him at all.
You know, I figured that comic news is just an extended cold open anyway.
That's true. It's just us talking about whatever we think is news, which is, you know, if we talk about it, then it's news.
Then it's news. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Y'all know the deal.
So, I mean, I clearly everyone, and I do mean everyone, wants to talk about the new Muppets trailer.
Yeah, is this Treasure Island too?
No, I mean, if that was the case, we really would be talking about that. I think they came out with they did come out with the trailer for the new Jurassic World, though.
They did?
It's like a teaser, or maybe it was just some like screenshots or something. Okay. But I gotta admit, man, I originally said fuck it, but I'm kind of interested.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not expect to hear that.
Well, they cast Jonathan Bailey in it, and I'm a big fan. You wouldn't know him from anything because he's in Bridgerton and Wicked. But you're about to.
That sounds like a threat.
It is. So we're gonna have to go see it. You know.
You gonna let me see this new Jurassic Park movie?
Even if we just hate, you gotta go see it. Even if it's terrible.
All right.
You know. You made me watch the last one.
You had to finish the trilogy.
That's true. I mean, now we got to finish the quadrilogy.
Oh shit! Okay. Yeah. Fine. I mean, this feels almost spiteful, but I'll let it slide.
All right, so let's talk about that Superman trailer, bro.
Yes.
That's what everyone wants to hear about anyway. Is the damn Superman trailer?
But I know also what you guys want to hear is a proper introduction.
That's right.
And if nothing else, we will be cordial.
Yeah, I mean, it would be rude not to.
It'd be very rude of us not to. Come on. So, homies, one and all, we would like to welcome you back to a very special and unique episode of the Superhero Homies podcast. My name is Quentin, and today I am joined here by my good friend, my brother, my homie. He has been inducted into the Co-Host Hall of Fame 17 years in a row, and he hasn't even been co-host that long, the homie Caleb.
I was like, dang, man, did I get like some posthumous inductions while I'm still alive?
I mean, we go ahead and do that ahead of time now, so we don't have to do it when you die.
I see. Yeah. I'll take the flowers, whatever. Yeah. I got a place to put them.
Excellent.
What's going on, everybody? We are. This has been exciting times for comic book fans. Really exciting times for DC fans, and I haven't been able to say that in a minute. I don't know when the last time I was able to say that to you, the Snyder Cut, and the last time I was able to say that to you with a straight face and mean it.
For me, Snyder Cut, the Batman.
That's true.
Suicide Squad, the Suicide Squad.
Well,
there's been pockets, but in terms of big productions, mainstay tentpole type things.
I mean, the Batman was really only good for Batman fans.
That's true,
because we know that's not going anywhere else. It's not going anywhere else. It's going to be a great Batman trilogy, I feel like, but we also know that Matt Reeves is not going to be spinning that off into anything. Superman's not going to show up, you know. Mm-hmm. That would be crazy, but
it would be.
In that kind of a grounded world, if Superman shows up, Bruce can just take it to the house. You know?
Yeah, I don't know what Bruce does then.
Yeah. I guess he helps him clean up Gotham, because it's all fucked up.
I think he's probably still telling him to get the fuck out of Gotham.
Yeah. You know? Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Hey, dog, worry about your shit.
Yeah. Stay the fuck out of Gotham.
What's up with Scott Snyder? Not Scott Snyder. Also, what's up with Scott Snyder? But what the fuck is up with Zack Snyder's obsession, this weird shit where he put Gotham and Metropolis across a lake from each other?
Yeah, that was interesting, right? I didn't... at first, that really kind of... It was I don't know if that feels right.
Right.
But then it didn't really bother me.
It was just a weird choice.
Yeah, but I guess thematically speaking, it did kind of make sense to have them as sister cities. it would have made more sense for me had like if Lex and Bruce had like a bigger beef, you know,
right? Yeah,
with them being sister cities like that.
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't know. I mean, geographically speaking, who the hell knows where these two are?
Yeah, that's true.
Even though, according to Matt Reeves, Gotham is in New Jersey, which tracks.
Yeah. I will say that it made the world feel smaller.
Yeah.
You know? That it's like, these are our two main places where things happen, and they're across a lake from each other.
Mm.
You know?
It would have felt that way if Coast City and Star City had been there, and like, you know, Green Lantern and the Flash were also like a stone's throw away as well.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, speaking of things that are, you know, the DCEU is dead. Mm-hmm. Long live the DCEU. And that's what we're here to talk about. Let us know in the comments, guys, what you thought about the Superman trailer, because we are going to discuss that at length here today. We do have some other items, but I feel like that is going to be the main course. So let's get into it, man. What's your initial thoughts on this trailer overall?
I loved it. As someone who is now not ashamed to say that, over the years I have been converted to a Superman fan, I gotta say that this trailer invokes a lot of the feelings that you have when you read a good Superman comic book for me. So I really dug the theme of this trailer. Everything from the various shots that we got to the opening shot of this man of steel, this man of hope needing help, to the score, the kind of electric guitar riff on John Williams, 1970s classic Superman score, to seeing James Gunn lean into what makes James Gunn's movies typically so good, which is he is not afraid to lean into the abstract or the obscure or the straight up weird, and he absolutely does that here, and he does it with a straight face, and I dig that. So I mean, obviously we're going to get into like all the various things that go on within this trailer, but I got to be honest, I think from top to bottom, I just thoroughly enjoyed this trailer. All the various cameos that we got, and just the idea of a Superman who is filled with kind of that youthful hope and optimism again, and I'm really curious now to see this movie. I think if the movie is as good as this trailer, I'm going to have a really good time with it.
Right, because, Craven had a great trailer.
Craven had a good editor.
Yeah, exactly. I will say that I was far more skeptical than you, and I probably still am. I think in the general sense, I was far more skeptical because I'm not a fan of Superman.
Right.
In general. I have really liked iterations of Superman. But to me, I mean, the best live action Superman that we've ever gotten only put on the suit for about 12 seconds. And that was Smallville to me. And if it's not that, then it's probably fucking Christopher Reeve. Not that I mind Henry Cavill. I love Henry Cavill. I just don't think that the writing ever supported what I wanted to see from Superman. And that doesn't mean that like it was a bad Superman. It just means it wasn't for me. It never displayed what I wanted to see from this character. Zack Snyder always, to me, his version of Superman was like it's like the little kid who thinks that Superman is cool every time they give him new powers. Right? Like the more powers they give him, the cooler he is automatically.
I never got that from Snyder. From Snyder, I got what changes would we need to make to this character if we had to put him in this world here that we live in.
See, I don't know, man. I never understood that from him because I felt like the movies never gave him time. Right? I liked some of the journey in Man of Steel. Mm-hmm. I think just in Man of Steel, it gets too bogged down with like my favorite parts of Man of Steel are the Krypton stuff, right?
Right.
But that largely doesn't even involve Clark. He's just a byproduct of it.
Yeah.
And then fucking Zod shows up. And now I just want to see what Zod is doing because he was such a great villain in that. And then the last 30 minutes of the movie is just a bunch of Dragon Ball Z fights. And I love that, but it doesn't tell me anything about Superman as a character. Mm-hmm. And I feel like from the moment the fighting starts in that movie, you really don't get to see that until the very questionable scene where he breaks the neck. Mm. And I think doing that in the first movie was a bad call. They hadn't really even established that Superman doesn't kill people necessarily.
I don't know if the comics have established that either.
But if Spider-Man did it,
we got issues. Yeah,
we've definitely established that.
Yeah.
Like when I'm playing Marvel Rivals and I'm doing terribly, I'm playing Spider-Man. He doesn't kill people. But this Superman in this trailer, it looks like something I could really sink my teeth into. He doesn't seem... When I say he doesn't seem ridiculously overpowered, I'm saying that within the confines of what Superman is, right? Mm-hmm. Like, by default, he has to be overpowered. He's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the Zack Snyder version was basically just fucking, absolutely ridiculous, like the upper echelon of what Superman could do being anything, right? And I think that appeals to certain people. It's part of the character, but that's not what makes him interesting to me. Mm. I love the score in the trailer. James Gunn recently said that this movie is actually not going to be a soundtrack. I mean, there will be a few songs in it, but it's going to be mainly the score.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great choice.
Same.
The score is the best part of this trailer. Without it, I think it's still a good trailer, but I don't think it's an amazing trailer. I say all this shit to say that I really enjoyed the trailer as well. I'm just trying to let you know where my expectations were. They were in the dumps, and I think this trailer has kind of put this movie to me on the same level as Captain America 4, Thunderbolts, and Fantastic Four as far as where my expectations are. The one and only difference between the leg up that this movie has is James Gunn.
Yeah, and that's why I'm surprised that this movie was expectation-wise beneath like Brave New World and Thunderbolts and whatnot. Because for me, those are on shaky legs. Even after getting a few trailers from Brave New World, I'm super skeptical eyes on that one.
The trailers do keep getting better for Brave New World. I will say that.
They keep giving us variations of the same thing, and it doesn't quell my fears for that movie. But I will say that it looks cool in the shots that I've seen.
Yeah.
I mean, Fantastic Four, just from the very basis of what it is, I'm super worried. I need to see a trailer for Fantastic Four,
and we need it to be good.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Marvel really needs that. Like, if Cat 4 and Thunderbolts are just base hits, that's fine. They'll survive. That's better than what they've been doing. Like, even if Cat 4 is just a 2-hour episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier, it's still better than what they've been putting out for the most part.
Yeah.
In the post-Endgame world. But, like, Fantastic Four has to be great for so many reasons.
I absolutely agree. Oddly enough, I think that Thunderbolts, for me, like, that's the one that I have the least worries for, but also out of the 4 superhero movies, that's the one that has the least writing on it.
Yeah.
It's like Thunderbolts can kind of come and go, and if it's not a smash hit, then it's not really gonna... I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm sure they wanted to make money and they want people to like it, but if that doesn't happen, we're just gonna move on to the next thing.
Yeah, Yelena and Bucky will maintain their popularity. They'll survive. Everybody else, everyone else will fade into obscurity.
There's a chance that Yelena and Bucky, who knows, bad writing has done terrible things for characters.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. I feel like the writing is going to treat Yelena well, though, just off of what we have seen.
She seems to be maybe the main character focus of Thunderbolts.
That's what I would do. That's what I would do.
I think I don't know who I would put it on. She's not a bad choice. I mean, for me, Bucky would be the more obvious choice. He's got the most popularity going in.
I think Bucky works the best as like a upper tier secondary character, right? I mean, clearly his best moments in the MCU are, they're in Winter Soldier,
Right.
But then after that, it's probably Civil War. He was great in that. Every minute that Bucky's on the screen in Civil War is fantastic. So
yeah.
Yeah, that being said, I don't know, man. Sebastian Stan's work in What If disqualifies him for me. But we're not here to talk about that. We're at the moment. We're here to talk about Superman.
Yes. Apparently, I don't know this for a fact, but has Legacy been dropped?
Yeah, it's just called Superman.
It's called Superman.
Yeah, they actually announced that a bit ago.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not going to be called Legacy anymore because he felt like that title was like looking back at the past. And he said the legacy of Superman is still a main theme of the movie, but they wanted to drop it from the title.
Yeah.
I think just calling it Superman is a great thing to do because one of the reasons that they think Man of Steel didn't do as well as it could have is because they didn't have Superman in the title. Which I know that's silly, but you got to think, like, there's, like, you got to talk, you're thinking like the date night, crowd, right? This is the super casuals. They don't necessarily know that Man of Steel is Superman,
That didn't stop The Dark Knight. It wasn't called Batman The Dark Knight.
Yeah, but the first movie was called Batman Begins.
Yeah, okay. So it was a sequel. I get it.
Yeah, I mean, and yeah, you're right. I mean, but I think Batman is also just way more primed to make money than Clark. I mean, he is the cash machine. He is the cash cow.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. There's so many things that we could talk about for this trailer, but I gotta say that the score to me is incredible. Like it gives you this overwhelming sense of hope. I can't wait to see how James Gunn uses it in the movie.
Yeah.
Because we know that he is a master of that, right? Like
of using music to invoke emotion.
Yeah.
Very powerful tool.
Yeah, and he's incredibly good at it. Him and the Russos are just so good with it. Right. So you take that into account. So let me just go ahead and get this out here. If if this movie was not written and directed by James Gunn, I would think Crypto was the stupidest fucking thing in the universe for them to put in here.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I would be insanely pissed at it if it weren't for James Gunn. But I have, like, he made $1 billion franchise out of a talking tree and a raccoon. Like, okay,
Right.
It's James Gunn. If it was anybody else, no dice. I would be livid.
Well, then I got some news for you with the Supergirl movie. If you don't like Crypto, if they're basing it off of the graphic novel, he's got to be in it.
Well, I mean, if they establish Crypto as being dope in this movie and then he's in the Supergirl, that's fine.
Even if it's James Gunnless.
James Gunn is still going to be overseeing everything.
He's not going to make it, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's like Rocket was fine in, like, the Avengers movies,
Yeah. As far as Crypto being in it, I thought it was a bold choice, for sure. And to a degree, I agree with you that, like, if anyone else were handling it, I don't know if I'd be so comfortable with seeing Crypto. But I mean, he made Cosmo, the Russian space dog, cool. I mean, for me, Cosmo's always a cool character, but that's kind of a hard sell.
Yeah.
This poor Russian space dog that just got shot into space and never came home.
Right. Also, I mean, people like dogs, right? I mean, I typically don't, but people do. In general, they like dogs. So I get it.
Yeah.
It's smart.
Yeah. And I think that something like Crypto is just right up James Gunn's alley. And to your point, I think if someone else were making this movie, I don't think they'd use Crypto.
You would hope. You hope they wouldn't use crypto.
And it's not that crypto isn't like an interesting aspect. It's just one of those things where it's like crypto isn't necessarily needed, and if you can do it without crypto, then you got to think that risk might not be worth it. It might just be better to leave crypto out. But in the hands of someone like James Gunn, I think that he just has a very interesting eye for shit like this.
Yeah.
He, like you said, the talking raccoon and talking tree,
Right.
He got that over. Yeah, I really dig the opening of this where Superman, he's plummeting from the sky with immense force, and yeah, he's whistling for help.
He's got some Invincible going on here.
A little bit.
And I think this is a brilliant way to open the trailer because it's like Superman can bleed. You know? There's something in this movie that can fuck up Superman.
Yeah.
And you didn't show us what it was, which is smart. I have a feeling that they will, unfortunately, in the trailers before the movie comes out. But I would just prefer to not know.
Yeah.
Personally. But they won't do that.
Yeah, they got a feeling that, well, I don't know, because Zaslav, he seems to be very, at the moment, he seems to be very hands-off.
Yeah, that's true.
So unless this is something that James Gunn wants to do, then I don't know if we see anything explicit. I have my theories as to what did it, but we'll get there.
I gotta say, man, I think I none of the test stills did it for me.
Me either.
But in the trailer, man, I kind of like old Corn Sweat.
Yeah, old Corn, he was sweating here, all right. Yeah.
I like how he looks in the suit, man.
Yeah, surprisingly, I do too. That was one of my concerns. I remember a few months ago when we got one of the still shots of him putting on like the boot or whatever.
Yeah.
It just didn't do anything for me. As a matter of fact, I thought that the suit didn't look good. It seemed to be kind of ill-fitting, a little baggy. And I don't know, like the colors seemed off. The suit does look a lot more vibrant and well-fitting here in the actual trailer. I'm sorry, this is actually a teaser trailer. What the fuck is a trailer anymore?
Yeah, back in my day, a teaser was like 15 seconds.
Right.
Now the teaser is 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And the full trailer is like 10 minutes. I liked him in the suit here. I liked seeing him as Clark. Oh my God, thank you. One thing I will say about that though is we get shots of him and Lois in the office working, and then later on, obviously they're in some like high rise or whatever, and he's Superman. Listen, do not give us the she doesn't know, but spends a bunch of time with both of them. Like, to me, Lois not knowing he's Superman only works when like she doesn't directly interact with Superman. Like, she just sees him doing Superman shit. Okay, fine. I could totally see it. The nerdy dude in the office, you're not ever going to draw that comparison. But if she sits down and has a conversation with him and doesn't realize that it's him, that's just, that's going to take me right out. I'm going to go get some popcorn or something after that. Like, I'm going to need a moment.
She absolutely knows in this movie.
Yeah. Is that confirmed that he...
It's not.
Okay.
I'm just going off of, like, you look at the trailer and they're inside what looks like their apartment.
Yeah, I hope she knows already. Like, that would just be better for me.
Yeah, and also, like, this is already a Superman who has been around for some time.
Right.
He's been Supermaning for at least some amount of time now. And again, like, the shots that we get of those two, it seems very familial. So, like, they're very familiar with one another, and I would just be surprised, very surprised, if she didn't know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that she does. If I had to bet money, I'd bet the house that she definitely knows that, my Clark Kent here is definitely Superman.
Yeah, I hope so. I like that it's not an origin. I like that we're starting a few years into his career as Clark. Yeah. Or as Superman, rather. Well, also as Clark.
Or it could be a year. It could be a Batman situation.
That's true. I think James Gunn said a few years.
Okay.
It looks interesting as far as their relationship goes. I am still not completely sold on her as Lois. Maybe we'll see when the movie comes out. I never was, out of all the people who were, possible top picks or whatever. I think Rachel was my least favorite of them.
Oh, yeah?
But we'll see. I didn't think nothing in the trailer. Obviously she doesn't do a lot in the trailer.
Right.
Most of what Lois is going to do, in this kind of situation, is going to be like uncovering Lex's plot or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Doing reporter shit. So it's hard to represent that in a trailer like this. That was really bombastic, and I think this trailer does a lot of what it needed to. I think the hype now is there, and we're talking about Marvel having like all kind of shit riding on Fantastic Four. Let's be honest, it could still fucking tank, and there's still an MCU, right? Like, it would be bad, but it could still tank. If this movie bombs, there may not be a DCU. Zaslav could pull the plug on it in an instant.
Yeah, he could.
I mean, that's already been talked about. So
yeah, that would be most unfortunate, because then where do you go from there?
Yeah, DC needs this movie to. I think they needed to crack $1 billion, but they at least needed to turn a profit.
Ooh, $1 billion
with a B.
With a B, that would be rough. I'm like 2. No. I'm one of these microphones. Okay, I think. Am I 3?
Nah, I mean you're hitting one. If you were 2, it wouldn't be hitting. Oh wait, a bunch of these are still plugged in, huh?
Yep. Yeah. We recently did the wrap-up review, 2024 wrap-up review. Be sure to check that out.
You're not 4, are you?
No, 4's over here on this.
Okay, I was gonna say you're not slumming it up at 4.
That would be amazing if I was, though.
Yeah.
I could just find out this way. Yeah, I'm 2. Oh, I turned my own mic down. That's my problem. I'm 2.
Yeah. I was gonna say I'm just gonna move this one over here and y'all can hear me in stereo.
That's right. Yeah. Hear Caleb from all angles.
Yeah.
And we know that's what you want.
That's right, girl. I got you.
What you think about I forgot his name, Old Beast as Lex Luthor?
Yeah, man. I never liked Nicholas Hoult as Beast.
Nicholas Hoult, that's it.
I liked him as other things, but not as Beast, really. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I think he looked great. He looks like a Bond villain, but that's okay. It was weird. The gun was weird. I mean,
you wonder what he was doing with that, right?
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't going to use it on Clark.
Yeah.
Unless he's got kryptonite.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would love a scene where Lex just shoots Clark repeatedly while he's got kryptonite.
Oh, Jesus.
They're not going to do that. The LexCorp building looked fucking great, too.
Yeah. Luthor Corp.
Yeah, that's
what
right.
They called it here.
It's also interesting, too. Do you think his dad is still around? Do you think they're going to be a Lionel in here?
That is interesting, right? So, if they're a few years into Supermaning, maybe Lionel's already dead.
Well, according to James Gunn, he did say that Superman and Lex at this point know of each other, but that this movie is going to be their first interactions.
Yeah.
Directly. So.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna like Nicholas Hoult as Lex.
You too.
I'm with you. I didn't really care for him as Beast. I don't know. Some of that I do put on him. A lot of it I put on just the writing for Beast in those movies.
Yeah, it's mostly the writing and the choices to have him be in his human form way more than he's in his Beast form.
Right. We're talking about X-Men, by the way, not Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying he would have been awful at that either. He probably would have been pretty good at that. A little on the nose. But yeah, man, he's in this trailer not a lot, right? Mm-hmm. Surprisingly little. I'm assuming, to kind of keep him a little mysterious. I hope that they play him as a 3-dimensional character. It's James Gunn, so probably will.
Yeah.
Definitely don't need we don't need a psychotic Batman vs Superman Lex, and we don't need a mustache twirling Gene Hackman Lex. So, honestly, the way I would play this character is I wouldn't go full, Homelander MAGA with it, but I would lean into that a little bit, right? This dude's 100% convinced that Superman represents it, like he's anti-humanity, right?
Yeah.
He's trying to protect the Earth from these alien threats. Mm-hmm. And I think if you can play that in such a way that the audience even can empathize with his concerns, I think that that's the right way to play Lex.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I go back and I look at something like X-Men 1 with Senator Robert Kelly. Not to be confused with the Robert Kelly that pees on little girls.
I'm so glad that I had not taken a drink of this already, because it would have been all over this table.
I was just clarifying it for the homies.
Right? Yes, of course.
Yeah.
That one's not a senator,
yeah.
So you didn't have.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah. That's my Robert. Always peeing on somebody. But you look at X-Men 1 with Senator Kelly, and that opening scene when he's like having that debate with Jean Grey, and if mutants were real, that's a conversation you can 100% see happening.
Yeah,
because he brings up some valid points, but he induces fear mongering in the process.
Right.
So it's a very, very strong tactic that he used to kind of push his own agenda with mutants. I think, to your point, if Lex does something similar like that with Superman, that can really help sell the points that he's trying to make.
Yeah, I agree. There's so many damn characters in this trailer.
Yeah.
Talk about Metamorpho.
Yeah.
It looked like he was fighting Superman at one point, right? Like when they're in the stadium and it looks like he's pushing him.
I think that was a different character.
Oh, you think it wasn't Metamorpho?
Yeah, I don't think that was Metamorpho.
Well, that would make me feel better.
Yeah. It seems like it was Metamorpho that we got that almost looked like a White Walker from Game of Thrones.
Yeah. There's a picture of his face.
Yeah, a picture of his face, and yeah, it's interesting, right? Because looking at that, he looks like a villain, which is interesting. But maybe that's just a red herring. There's a brief shot, and the shot is mostly centered on Superman, but in the back you see something that says Stagg Industries.
Yeah.
Simon Stagg, I could be wrong. I'm no Metamorpho expert, so I'm going off of fucking memory here, but I'm pretty sure that he played a role in the creation of Metamorpho.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so there could be some kind of connection there. He certainly looked like, he looked good in his own kind of creepy way from that one still shot. If that was Metamorpho, I'll be surprised if that wasn't him.
Yeah. Well, there's the whole thing with Metamorpho's whole deals. He can become anything on the periodic table.
Yes.
And I wonder if Lex gets a hold of him and tries to turn him into kryptonite.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that would be interesting.
It would be.
We got to talk about what the internet is talking about, which is Nathan
Oh
Fillion's
my gosh.
bowl cut. The Guy Gardner bowl cut. What the fuck?
They gave him the Guy Gardner bowl cut, man.
James Gunn knows what he's doing.
Oh, fuck. He absolutely knows.
You think he's just trolling Nathan Fillion here?
At this point, how many times have they worked together? He's 100% trolling them,
And I'll give it to Nathan Fillion. He looks completely serious.
He is playing it straight as can be.
Yeah. And Guy Gardner would.
He would, yeah. This is going to be our first time seeing a Green Lantern in a movie theater since 2011. Technically, we see if you saw the non-Snyder cut in theater, you saw a glimpse of a Green Lantern for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So, but we don't count that.
That's not in the Snyder cut,
huh? I think it is, actually, yeah.
Oh, okay.
You get more of it.
I was going to say, I thought there was actually more of it, but you said in theater, and I don't think
the Snyder cut was never in theater.
Yeah. Which is travesty.
Yeah, right. But we got Justice League out there.
Yeah.
What's that guy up to? Anywho. So Guy Gardner, he looked serious and with that ridiculous ass haircut. Now the real question is, will he survive this movie?
I doubt it. I really doubt it because they've already cast Hal and John.
Yeah.
So, and Nathan Fillion tends to die in James Gunn films.
He does. That's part of the troll.
Yeah. 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 So I think whatever the big bad is, I think they're going to kill Guy.
Ooh.
As part of their whatever.
Do you think then maybe his ring goes to John?
Like maybe Hal already exists?
Hal definitely already exists in this universe, right? I mean, I'd be surprised if Hal Jordan wasn't already a Green Lantern.
Like he's off-world?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be an awesome way to open the Green Lantern show, right? To have Guy get killed in this, and Hal comes back to Earth for the funeral. Jot this shit down, James, if you haven't already. Hal comes back to Earth for the funeral, and and then John gets Guy's ring, and then Hal's like, oh well, we gotta. All right, fine, I'll turn him up, and that's how the show starts. That'd be a great opening.
That would be,
and that's also a great way to get all your cameos in because you could have all these. Everyone who survives this movie could be at the funeral.
Yeah. We see Hawk Girl.
Yeah, not a whole lot of.
Not a whole lot.
Her.
Now I could be wrong, but I'm pretty confident. I think she was in Madam Web.
Really?
Yeah. Pretty sure she was one of the girls in Madam Web.
We can see here.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're gonna hope that if this is the case, if I am correct, I could be wrong, but if I am correct, hopefully her second outing as a superhero goes a little bit better than the first.
She was in Madam Web.
Okay.
She was also in Alien Romulus.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm assuming she didn't make it.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, no. I think she's actually the chick that ended up spawning the weird alien human thingy.
Gotcha. Yeah, that was her, huh?
Yeah, she's cute though.
She is.
So, yeah, she's in Alien Romulus.
Wouldn't you know? Well, she's making the rounds, man. Hey, look, if Superman Legacy is a good movie, then 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Right? Yeah. That's true.
But you're right. We don't get to see a whole lot of Hawk Girl here in this trailer, but the one shot we get of her looks solid.
Yep. Get a lot of Mr. Terrific.
We do. I think he's probably going to play a bigger role in this movie.
James Gunn actually said out of all the secondary characters, and he was determined that these are not cameos, that these are all characters in the movie.
Yeah.
And he said Mr. Terrific is going to have probably the biggest role out of all the secondary characters.
I think that's great.
Yeah, because this is not a character we've explored a lot.
Yeah.
He looks good.
He does.
Is that the guy that played...
He played Darwin.
Darwin
Yeah.
in First Class, yeah.
Yep. So his second outing as a superhero should go way better than his first.
Yeah, we did not get to see Frank Grillo, but he is apparently going to be in the movie.
Oh.
As Rick Flag Sr.
Oh, okay.
Because he's also voicing him in Creature Commandos.
Yeah. Another character we see here is a character decked out and head to toe in black.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of speculation about who that is. I think it's got to be... I think it's an amalgamation of a character, if I had to guess. It seems to be like Ultraman. Like Earth... What's that? Earth 3 Evil Superman?
Yeah.
And Bizarro is what I'm guessing. I think that... I think it's some kind of amalgamation of the two. The reason I say Bizarro is because I can't get away from the ties of All-Star Superman,
Right, and we know that this is going to be kind of based on it.
Right. And, Ultraman, and I know that James Gunn isn't afraid to do weird, but Ultraman's from a different universe. And I don't know if they do that here in this movie.
In the very first one?
Yeah. So maybe he's like Ultraman is some kind of clone, something made by LexCorp, and that he keeps him covered up because he's ugly as fuck, the Bizarro face or whatever.
Yeah.
And shit goes sideways with it. I think that's what knocks the shit out of Clark in the trailer.
It could also be that fucking dragon Godzilla thing that he was fighting.
Could definitely be that too.
I'm glad to see like a Superman versus Kaiju fight.
Yeah.
It's very clear that James Gunn is leaning into like Silver Age Superman with this. And I think that's probably a good way to do it. Because while I think dark and gritty Batman is a good sell, I think we have found out that grimdark Superman is not. Not for the casual audience. I'm not saying there's no place for it, but if you're going to do that, do a Red Sun spinoff or whatever.
Right. Yeah, I hadn't even thought about that, but this is definitely more Silver Age than current era. It's like a modern spin on Silver Age. So that's interesting.
Which is, I think, is brilliant, man. I think. I got here about an hour early today, guys. And so we sat on the couch and basically did the same thing we do in here, just out there. But mainly, most of our discussion was around pro wrestling. And, we talked about how Cody Rhodes is kind of the only, like, kind of white meat baby face, kind of the classic, baby face character, like his dad, And I think that there's a place for that if you do it right, and that's where this Superman really could fit in from the movie space.
Yeah,
I think this like purely good character can work, but you have to give them dimensions and struggles.
Yeah,
and it doesn't have to be from a standpoint of necessarily that. Superman, you can't give Superman no struggle, right?
Yeah.
And it's very clear from this trailer that he will struggle,
right,
both physically and emotionally. And I think that's so important because if you can't knock Superman down, then you can't have him get back up,
right?
And that is the thing that kind of inspires the hope in people. So,
why do you think the people were throwing shit at Superman in that one part?
Oh, those are the Snyder fans.
I mean, okay, first of all, as a Snyder fan, I must say that not all of us...
No, I know. I just have to jab when I can. I know. I don't hate all his movies. I thought that Watchmen and 300 were amazing. And...
Did you like Dawn of the Dead?
Yeah, it was alright. I didn't like Sucker Punch. It's a little...
No, I don't think anyone really liked Sucker Punch.
I like the Snyder Cut.
Oh yeah.
Other than the one major plot hole being like Darkseid just forgot where the one planet where he got his ass beat was.
I would too.
Yeah, I mean,
if I've been alive for thousands of years and I got my ass whipped that one time, I'm forgetting this.
I don't know, man. I feel like the vengeful spirit of fucking darkness would not, though, I feel like that would be all he thought about.
But you know what? Because the galaxy is always in motion, right? It's like, fuck, it was here.
Oh, okay,
last time.
I can see that. I can see that. You put that tracker on the planet with the anti-life equation on it, right? Yes, Lord Darkseid.
And he was like, shit.
Yeah, he's like, he's gonna delete me. I'm about to get Beerus.
Oh.
But yeah, man, I think that overwhelming kind of sense of hope, I think if it's done well, I think that is the spirit of what Superman should be.
Yeah.
And it's what drew people into the Donner films.
Right.
The good ones.
Yeah. Well, Donner, he only did the good ones.
He only did the first two.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, somebody else did it after that.
Yeah.
Okay. Some person I've never heard of.
Right.
Yeah. For good measure.
I found out earlier today, apparently Superman 78 was Donner's first movie.
That's crazy.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy. It goes to show you how little faith they had in superhero movies back then. We'll give it to this Donner kid, see what he can do.
Dark Phoenix was Simon Kinberg's first movie.
And Fox's last.
Yeah. And then Disney was like, let's let him write a Star Wars trilogy.
Oh.
The fuck?
See, that part baffles me. Somebody that's trying to get Star Wars canceled or something. I don't know. They're trying to get it rebooted.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is, but we can't go off on that tangent. What do you think about the people that threw the trash at Superman? I mean, do you think he maybe fails to save somebody, or?
I think Lex spins the propaganda machine some way.
Yeah, I agree.
So I do know this, like, because of, like, the shit happening in Gaza, both Brave New World and Superman had to kind of change some things so that it didn't reflect, what was going on over there.
Right.
And so there's the one shot where we see, like, the little kid raising the flag or whatever. I wonder if that was probably more fleshed out and they maybe ended up cutting some shit to make it seem less inflammatory. And same thing with them throwing shit at Superman. I wonder if maybe he went overseas to help out and it's one of those lose-lose situations. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Either way, though, I think that Lex is behind it. I'm blaming it on Lex.
And then we obviously, it's clear he's going to get his Mother of Dragons moment at some point during the movie because you have all the people there chanting Superman,
we get the shot of him and Pa Kent. We had this discussion months ago. We'll have it here again. Do you think Pa Kent dies here?
I think that would be a poor decision. It seems like Martha's already dead.
We don't see Martha, do we?
And there's nobody on the cast list for Ma Kent. So.
That is interesting.
So I'm kind of thinking she's dead.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I'm fine with it.
It's different. It's normally the other way around. We see,
it'd be like May was dead and Uncle Ben.
Yeah, Uncle Ben was like, oh, this is interesting.
But James Gunn would be the one to flip it like that.
Yeah,
he'd be the kind of person to flip it on its head, and I like that. And honestly, I'm fine with him just being alive through this whole thing. Yeah. And then I could see using it as a plot point later, but the whole we're gonna kill one of the superheroes' parents or whatever, like, can we just not, can we get away from that trope for a little while? I think it's been done to death. There's gonna be a part in the movie where Lex is like, my dad's name was also John. It's like, no, it isn't. Lionel John Luther.
John Luther.
Yeah. Maybe we can get along. That's why his mom's dead in this movie. They just wanted to get away from Martha.
Oh no. Oh, poor Martha.
Yeah.
We see him cradling a robot, right? That's got to be like one of the robot guards for like the Fortress of Solitude.
It seems like we're gonna get a lot of Fortress of Solitude in this movie, and I dig that. And it seems like there's gonna be some fighting there.
Yeah. And I'm just running with my own theory here. I'm assuming that Ultron Bizarro Man probably goes there.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man. James Gunn, this movie gets a minimum 8 out of 10 if James Gunn will put some polar bear guards.
John Peters is like, this is phenomenal.
Yeah, I just need 2 polar bear guards. They don't have to be explained. Don't explain it. Just
and John Peters is like, well, they're the most dangerous apex predator.
They're both drinking a Coke,
right? Holy shit. What do you think Clark meant when he says to Crypto, take me home?
I'm assuming that means to the fortress.
So you think the fortress is where he maybe considers home here?
I mean, he's got to keep Crypto there, right? You can't keep a fucking super dog in Metropolis.
That's true. Yeah.
He gets pissed, like, pees on a fire hydrant, it goes flying through a fucking building, the building collapses.
That's true. You gotta find a special place to keep that dog.
Somebody throws him a bone, he fucking flips 8 cars trying to get to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He runs out into traffic and causes a 30-car pileup.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, now you're selling me on this. Yeah, obviously there's more surprises in this movie that we're not seeing here. You kind of wonder why are there so many other Justice League or JSA members in this movie? Like, what are they all doing here? And is it for the same thing or?
My theory is that the Justice League already exists in this universe. But my thought is that what we have here, what they're calling the Justice League, is probably a Maxwell Lord funded, based, essentially just publicity, vault level kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, he'll send you in and then build a city, you know?
Yeah.
And I think maybe the reason you put that in here is that eventually when they form the real thing, it will mean a lot, you know? So I think that would be something cool because Sean Gunn is cast as Maxwell Lord.
He is.
So
I think that'd be interesting to see what he does with that. He's like, man, my brother cast me in a role that's live action, that's not crackling.
I think it'd be interesting too to because Guy Gardner would be the person who would work for that kind of thing, you know, work for that kind of outfit.
Yep.
And I guess, you know, Hawk Girl and Mr. Terrific are there with him. We see somebody else, maybe Metamorpho as part of this. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be. I can see something like that. Mr. Terrific, though, I feel like he would be too smart to fall for something like that, just by the nature of his character.
That's true, but he could also be like I realize this is for the greater good type thing, you know.
Yeah,
he's an interesting character, man, and I'm excited to see what James Gunn's going to do with him, and with this movie as a whole. Like I said, you know, I think it put my skepticism at the same level as the other movies, but you know that is without including James Gunn. Like, because it's James Gunn, I think it's on a level above the others. Yeah, purely because of him. Like, there's so many things in this trailer that if anybody else were doing it would be huge fucking red flags for me. Yeah. I will say this: the more they echo that John Williams score, the better, because people love it. Yeah, man. Like, and that's the crazy thing, right? Because those movies were, I mean, they're before our time. Yeah. And but man, hearing that riff on that score, man, it still moves you. They're before our time, but John Williams isn't. That is true. Like, John Williams was working on Star Wars all the way up until like very recently. Yeah. Which is insane. Indiana Jones, Jurassic Park. You know, John Williams, pretty much any major franchise from the 90s, John Williams, if it was worth the shit, John Williams was on it. You know? Yeah. And pretty much all of those franchises are long lasting. Right. You know, he's a legend. So for them to sort of modernize the score he did for the Donner movies, I think that's a brilliant choice. Yeah. And the way that this trailer just kind of opens up with it, and like the trailer progresses as the score gets more intense, it makes me really want to see this movie. Yeah, I'm very interested in seeing what this movie does and seeing how it plays out. Is there something you want to see or hope to see in the movie that the trailer didn't give us? I want a post credits where Kara's pod lands. Oh. I want Millie to bust up out of there too. You know, or maybe not bust up out of it, but I want him to like wipe the window off. You know, and you see her in there. Yeah. I think that's got to be the post credits, right? Like, got to do something like that. I want to see Green Lantern do some cool shit before he dies. You're just assuming this man dies. Yep. Yeah. There's not enough room for 3 of them. And it's Nathan Fillion. He's gonna die. Or James Gunn will just troll us and like Nathan Fillion just makes it out. You know. Right. I mean, I would want to see Superman get his ass beat, but I think we're going to see that. Yeah. I think it's confirmed. He's like, take me home. Take me home, country road. I don't know if I want Ultraman or even like a Bizarro type. I don't know, man. Like the first superhero movie is
Mirroring
them
yourself.
fighting the mirror of themselves. I don't really love it. I feel like from an action standpoint, that's gonna be a lot like the Zod fight. He's got to keep it away from that, right? I don't know, but also Lex can't fight him. I mean, unless they do like one of the mech suits.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? When it comes to Superman, there's only so many people who can hurt that motherfucker, and a Kryptonian is definitely one of them.
And I think with Lex too, like him having the suit or whatever, I feel like that's too early. Mm-hmm. Like obviously they need to keep Lex around. I feel like him busting out the fucking mech suit is like a later stage thing.
Yeah.
He would never go to that originally. You know? That's like a last ditch effort. Superman is in LexCorp. Yeah. He's busted up in here. He's looking for me.
Right.
I gotta bust out the mech suit.
What if it's less Ultraman? I mean, I'm just spitballing here. What if it's Hank Henshaw fucking Kryptonite chest?
Damn it, what's his name?
Metallo?
Metallo, yeah. I would be down for a Metallo.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I like Metallo. Yeah. They could also go a version of what's his name, Amazo.
Oh yeah.
Like that kind of thing. I mean, they have all these like kind of quasi Justice League people here,
right?
So it could be like Amazo has all their different powers and shit.
That would be cool.
Color would Amazo's ring be?
Okay.
Has he got Amazo with a black ring?
Oh my gosh.
That could do it.
I think you actually have to be dead though to get a black ring.
That's true.
Yeah. So he's got the component of a dead. He kills Guy Gardner, takes a component of him, adds him to his body so he can get the black ring of death. Yeah.
Okay.
We just worked it out, folks.
Got it.
Yep.
I think it's way too early for some White Lantern rings.
Maybe.
Way too early in the universe for some Black Lantern rings.
Yeah, but we're looking forward to seeing this movie. This is one of those things where it's like, obviously, we're still 7 months away from
I know.
movie.
It hurts. I am the hype.
I am the hype. Good news is Brave New World is right around the goddamn corner at this point.
Next year's going to be front loaded, man. So,
gosh.
We're getting Brave New World in February. I think we're getting Thunderbolts in April.
Daredevil in March.
And then in July, we're getting this movie and Fantastic Four.
That's crazy.
And, the back half of the year is just going to be...
Yeah.
I mean...
They're going to re-release Kraven the Hunter.
Yeah, they're gonna put all of the Sony Spider-Man-less Spider-Man movies back in theaters.
That is a perfect segue.
Yeah.
Did you have anything else on Superman?
No, I just really want to see the movie.
Same.
Damn you, James Gunn.
We gotta talk about some Sony stuff, man.
Oh man.
So I know we just spoke about Superman and hope and optimism. And
this evening's joy has passed.
So, Sony, we need you guys to sit down and we need to have this conversation with you. So you mean to tell me that you could have put Spider-Man in any of these at any time, but you said no, dog?
That was the thing to me is we always just kind of speculated that they had this deal with Disney.
Yes.
But at the same time, I was like, they're the primary rights holder.
Mm-hmm.
Why would they agree to that?
Right.
Turns out they didn't. They could have put Spider-Man in every one of these. What the fuck is wrong with them? If there's anything good that comes out of this whole Sony Spider-Verse bullshit, it's that they are seriously considering selling the rights to Disney full tilt. Honestly, I think they should. If it was me, I would like to see them sell the rights. I do not think they're going to let go of the video game rights.
No.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think they'll continue to license Spider-Man out to other games.
Yep.
But as far as Sony's concerned, man, Spider-Man is never going to appear on a PC or Xbox unless, the PC releases of Spider-Man games, but you're never gonna see Spider-Man on an Xbox in any game. It doesn't matter what it is. Well, I guess he's got to be in Marvel Rivals, right?
Yeah, gotta be.
So
yeah,
I guess they lost that. I mean,
right.
I guess they were like, "Fuck it" on that one.
Yeah,
but that game is great, by the way. Actually,
I haven't played it. It's good.
So, did you like the original Overwatch?
I never played.
Oh, okay. Well, this is Overwatch, but Marvel.
Okay.
I mean, it's free, so try it out. But yeah, I'm really liking it. I'm maining Magneto.
Oh shit.
Who's a tank? I play a little Thor and a little bit of Rocket.
When you said a little Thor, I was like, just like it's like a dwarf Thor in the game.
No. I just play Thor a little bit. Thor is a tank. Magneto is a tank. Rocket is a support. But they have all these really cool. We've segued to Marvel Rivals now. They have all these cool team up abilities in the game that you can do. So like, if you have Thor and Captain America on your team, Thor can automatically charge the shield up with lightning.
Oh, nice.
And this just happens automatically. And then Scarlet Witch has some cool team ups with people. Groot has a whole thing where you're like one of your supports can ride on his shoulder. So like Rocket can get up on his shoulder and you can shoot from up there and heal people from up there and stuff.
That's dope.
Yeah. It's they added in a lot of team up stuff which was not in Overwatch. And some of that stuff is really fucking cool. But Jeff the Land Shark, man, everyone hates that motherfucker. Like, he's like the most annoying character. They gotta nerf him. But yeah, Thor is really good. Magneto I really like because he kind of has this mechanic where he can put shields on people, and he also can like hold a whole shield up in front of the team. And the more damage that they do to the shield, the more it builds your attacks up. Oh, nice. So like, they can attack the shit out of your shield and bring it down, but like then you're gonna hit them with some craziness. Right. And of course, his like ultimate ability is he throws like a big ass meteor. Oh yeah. And it explodes. Yeah. So
he says they're gonna be avenged. And then he hits him with the train. Right.
And I said I wasn't gonna spend any fucking money in this game. And I wasn't going to, but they have like a 97 skin for Magneto. Oh. And I'm like, motherfucker. Goddamn. Yep. And it's not like a straight up 97 skin. It's like they made a like really cool kind of version of the 97. Oh, so that's cool. I might have to hit that up, but I think it's at least worth a shot.
Yeah. I want to go back to a couple things here. Thing number one I want to go back to. Imagine like you walk across a restaurant you've never seen before. And you see me coming out of there, and you go, "Oh man, how is this place? Never had the food here." And I go, "It's free."
I would go in. For sure.
And secondly, I'm stuck on. I think there's currently 28 playable characters. Yeah. And Jeff the fucking Land Shark is one of them.
Yeah, dog. People fucking hate Jeff. So get this, dude. His ultimate is he goes under the ground and like does the shark thing where he throws a circle around you, and if you get caught in it, he eats you. And if you're a friendly on the team, it heals you. Oh. But if you're not, it does constant damage to you while you're in it. And one of the things that he can do is he can move around. So what he does is you simply want to find as many members of the other team as you can while they're bunched up. Mm-hmm. You hit the ultimate and then you toss them off the level so it kills them all.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, real piece of shit, Morty.
Is Gwenpool in the game?
Not that I know of.
That's hilarious.
Squirrel Girl is insane as well. She is really nuts.
She made the cut.
Yeah, Squirrel Girl's in it. Yeah. I mean, clearly they chose a mix of like the really popular characters and the lesser characters because they want it to be a big deal. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, we added this person. Yeah,
and because that does make sense.
Because they have Doctor Strange, Iron Man, Captain America. I mean, a lot of your mainstays are in there.
Does Wolverine get any easier to look at?
I don't know that I've actually ever seen anyone play Wolverine. He must suck.
You think about like Wolverine in the game, like, well, no, because I heard Iron Fist is good and he's really close combat, I imagine.
Iron Fist is really good. Punisher is really good. That motherfucker has a turret. He can pull out a turret and he just sits in it and like, mows people down.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What's not great is the state of Sony and their Marvel movies.
Yeah, man. I mean, I want them to sell the live action rights to Disney. I can understand if they keep the animated rights.
Mm-hmm.
Put all your eggs in the Spider-Verse basket.
Yep.
Come out with the movie, please.
Yeah. That'd be a great start. You guys want to go back to making money, maybe work on that.
Everyone loves those movies.
Yeah.
Even I like the second one, and I didn't even like the first one.
So just put out Beyond the Spider-Verse, work on it, obviously. Make sure that your script is done. Make sure that it's up to par.
Pay the people.
Pay the people to pay the people who literally make your movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be a great start. And they must have been losing money hand over fist with these Spider-Man movies.
Oh, they were.
To consider selling.
Yeah, I mean, they really were. I mean, they were losing a ton of money. There's no telling what they sell it to Disney for, though. I think it'd be no less. I don't think they even come to the table for less than $2 billion.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I honestly think they would probably try for more $4. And I think Disney would pay it for Spider-Man.
You know what? They might, because Spider-Man has, I mean, you look at the money that he's made in the MCU.
Yeah.
And they might view that as worth it. But then you also have to think about how much more do they want to use Spider-Man in the MCU?
At least for 5 more movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you're gonna have Miles. So probably
that's
forever.
True, yeah.
Probably forever, man,
Yeah.
to be honest with you. And then if they get the rights, you gotta think they're not just getting the rights to him, they're getting everyone.
Everyone, all the villains.
So they can make a Sinister Six without fucking Sony. Like they can do a Venom. I'm not saying that like I would be opposed to ever having a Venom movie that didn't have Spider-Man in it. But he has to start as a Spider-Man villain.
Right.
Like, I'm fine. I would be fine with them doing fucking Venom versus Carnage later.
Yeah.
You know, when it would make any kind of sense.
Right.
You know, but nah, I think that, and I think they want to use Null as well. So I think the more like really cool big bad threats they can put in their back pocket, the better. Yeah.
You know?
I mean, obviously they want the Goblin, they want Doc Ock. I mean, his road gallery is amazing.
It is, and I think they want that. You know.
You know who else they want? They want fucking Gwen. They want Spider-Gwen.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Who do you get for Spider-Gwen? I wonder.
I mean, she's already gonna be Supergirl, but they just get Millie.
You can't get.
Just get Millie. They can.
I guess they can.
I mean, well, DC probably wouldn't
Yeah.
be too happy about that.
Right.
She can't be both.
Well,
but she could.
Didn't James Gunn put out a Guardians movie? He was making Guardians when he put out a DC movie.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, no. Remember Disney fired him.
Oh.
When he made Suicide Squad, then they were like,
that was a mistake.
Yeah. We fucked up. Who plays her? Live action Spider-Gwen. Let us know in the comments who you would like to play live action Gwen Stacy and eventually be Spider-Gwen.
All right, look, fine. Like, if the money's right, I'll do it.
I mean, same. Same.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Man, you have to wonder the amount of mistakes that Sony had to make to get to this point, right? Like, think about it. Let's say that you were somehow oblivious enough that you go all these years having this contract with Marvel Disney, knowing that you can use Spider-Man, but you never do for whatever reason. And then No Way Home comes out, and you see the amazing reception for all 3 Spider-Man. And then the thought never crosses your mind to maybe we should bring that Andrew Garfield kid back to do another one.
I mean, these are the same people who said that Amazing Spider-Man 2 was a financial failure, and it made $700 million on like a 200 mil budget. Now, granted, that's not astronomical, but do you know how many superhero movies wish they could make half of that?
Right.
Oh my God.
Right.
Yeah. Mind blowing. I mean, granted, don't get me wrong. The movie was creatively bankrupt.
Mm-hmm.
I think, didn't we both rank it at the bottom?
It was at the bottom
Of our Spider-Man live action ranking.
Oh, also, a homie submitted their rankings in. And while we're talking about Sony, we're going to give it a look-see.
Oh, a look-see. Let's find out which of you are wrong.
Yeah, so, if you guys are ever interested in submitting your own list for any of these things that we discuss,
Do it.
go ahead and do it.
We really want to see you guys' MCU rankings.
Oh my goodness.
But that was an endeavor, so if you guys don't want to do it,
that was a lot.
It took us, 6 hours?
Yeah. and we're supposed to know what we're doing.
Yeah.
You know, allegedly.
The experts.
Right.
What you think, Junior?
Hey, what's
You
going
gonna
on?
give us your MCU rankings?
What's going on with Junior over there?
He said Deadpool Wolverine #1.
Oh, really? I can't imagine why we would have said that.
And that's it. That's the whole list.
Oh, that's the whole list? Okay. Well, thank you, Junior, for that riveting update.
Yeah.
The homie Caden has written in. It says that their personal ranking and rating. So they went above and beyond here. They started at the bottom and worked our way up.
Started at the bottom. Now we
here.
it's still at the bottom, actually.
Their worst Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man 3, they rank a 0 out of 10.
Jesus Christ. Okay. It's at the bottom. I can understand why you'd put this at the bottom. I think we put it right next to it.
We did.
But I gave Dune 84 a 1. I know Sigourney Weaver's not in this movie, but Bryce Dallas Howard is.
Yeah.
Well, what are we doing here? I mean, I'm not disagreeing. I take no umbrage with the fact that you put it last. But a 0 out of 10 is egregious.
That's a bit unfair.
Yeah.
There's a lot of movies out there that I would never watch. If Spider-Man 3 is on the list with Captain America 1990, Dune 84, Star Wars Christmas Special, I'm watching Spider-Man 3. You know. Granted, again, like Caleb said, I am fine with you having that movie be at the bottom.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I have no issue with that.
A 0 out of 10 though.
0 out of 10, man. That's incredible. I would like to hear your Craven review. You're gonna have to get into the negatives, my friend.
They do have notes here. They said that Spider-Man 3 offensively bad. No, aggressively stupid. I don't know. No insult does it justice. Spider-Man 3 is pure incompetence. Wow.
I can't disagree with any of that. Yeah, I'm not refuting any of that.
Moving on, The Amazing Spider-Man 1, 4 out of 10.
What? Okay, well, here we might have some problems. That doesn't belong there. What's next? What's next?
Okay, and they do say they'd rather watch paint dry. Next up, I take umbrage with this. Spider-Man 2, a 4.5 out of 10. And they just call it lame. Next up.
What? Okay, so, alright, before we go forward, Spider-Man, I get it, okay? I think that I know that you and I are in the minority here on this. I think that the Sam Raimi movies are campy and generally not good, or not for me. But the fact that Spider-Man 2 is this low on the list means that you put it below other films, or you just didn't mention them. And I feel like you are going to mention those. And so, okay. All right, what we got?
Yep.
What we got?
Yeah, so Spider-Man 2 got a 4.5 out of 10. Barely beat out The Amazing Spider-Man 1, which he ranked a 4 out of 10.
I really hope the homie JJ doesn't watch this.
Oh my goodness.
Because he might have like cardiac arrest.
Next up, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, 6 out of 10. Cubic zirconium in the rough. So not a diamond in the rough.
That's random, but okay.
Yep.
Cubic zirconium?
Yep. In the rough. Next up, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, a 6.5 out of 10, diamond in the rough.
Did we rank? We ranked the Spider-Verse movies in there with it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did all the theatrical releases. Yep.
Okay. Next up, Spider-Man Far From Home, 7 out of 10, good but flawed.
Okay.
Next up, Spider-Man 1, 7.5 out of 10, good but flawed.
What the fuck? But okay.
Spider-Man Homecoming, 8 out of 10, a Spider-Man movie. Just the note there. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, 8.5 out of 10, a Spider-Man movie. All right.
Okay. I'm assuming that's a good thing.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good thing. And number 1, Spider-Man No Way Home, 9 out of 10. He calls it heaven.
A 9 out of 10 is heaven? All right. We have to keep in mind that you and I are professional critics.
We've been doing this for a while.
We've been doing this for a minute. We've scored hundreds of movies and TV shows and whatever.
Respect.
Yeah, you have every right to have these opinions.
Absolutely. I would definitely love to pick your brain on some of these and see how you came to some of these conclusions. And I'm sure you'd probably like to do the same thing with us.
The ranking of Spider-Man 2 is really the only thing that I super hate about that list.
That did throw me off there.
Because I don't like those movies either, but the fact that you put it below Spider-Man 1 and Amazing Spider-Man 2, that hurt my soul just a tad.
That is interesting, to say the least.
Don't get me wrong, like, Spider-Man 3 is a bad movie. Mm-hmm. But some of these others deserved a little more respect. I did notice where you placed Far From Home, and I do appreciate that.
Because, it tracks if you look at all the other shit that's misplaced,
That little subtle dig you threw in there. I got it.
Anywho, though, thank you for your comment and for your submitting your list here. It is interesting always to see other people's viewpoints on these movies and rankings and whatnot. So, again, thank you, Caden, for your comment there. With that being said, we were talking about Sony and all of their fuck-ups here recently. And how hopefully they will sell their live-action movie rights to Spider-Man. We can only be so lucky.
We could hope.
Yeah, that would have huge implications for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I heard something interesting, and I want to throw my name in that same hat and say that I agree with this sentiment. And I don't remember who said it, so I apologize to whoever said it for not giving you the credit for it. But with more reshoots for Brave New World, it has been rumored that the budget for it, including the marketing and all, has ballooned to well over $400 million. And now, the thing that I've heard about it, which I think I agree with, is at this point, with Brave New World in particular, Marvel is not concerned with really turning a profit with it. Obviously, they would love to turn a profit with Brave New World, but at this point, they would rather put out a movie that will help repair the reputation with the fan base than to put out a movie that maybe makes money and hurts the reputation.
I think that the best case scenario, because you got to look at it, man, and look at like what Captain America made, right? Mm-hmm. Let's get the numbers on this. Let's see, Captain America franchise.
I think the only one that made $1 billion was
Civil War, and that was the fucking Avengers.
It was 2.5. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's look at the franchise here. So let's see. Just the U.S. numbers, right? Okay. This isn't the international numbers. First Avenger only made $176 million. Winter Soldier only $259 million.
Okay.
And Civil War $408 million. Now, obviously, that gets more interesting worldwide. Winter Soldier made $714 million worldwide. First Avenger made $370 million worldwide.
So Winter Soldier made about double what the first one made.
Yeah, and then Civil War worldwide almost $1.2 billion.
Yeah.
Once again, that was Avengers Light.
Right.
Not even light. They were all Avengers. In this shit. It's a fucking Avengers movie.
Yeah.
So if you, I think if this movie does Winter Soldier numbers, mm-hmm. I think that they'll be good. I don't think Winter Soldier necessarily had any awareness with the casuals beforehand. Right. The comic fans knew it was going to be fire.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of it was word of mouth of it being a good movie. I think their best case scenario is maybe they make a little bit on this with marketing and everything. I think maybe this movie clears $500 million globally, and that'll be considered a success. They at least need it to be in like the 7.5, 8 range.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I am not in Disney's pocketbook, but I would rather them take the hit financially if it means doing reshoots that they think would help make a better film and repair the reputation of the fan base.
I agree.
I do think that is more important. In the long run, they'll make more money that way.
I'm excited for the movie.
Yeah, I want to see it for sure.
I think that the thing they have to do with this movie, so the thing that they meant to do with the TV show was to establish Sam and solidify him as Captain America.
Yeah.
And I think they failed.
Right.
So I think this movie now also has to carry that weight.
Yeah. You know, that's a great point. But it's interesting, right? Because if we didn't get the TV show, this would feel way weirder.
Oh, yeah, it'd be really odd if we... I mean, I'm not saying that we didn't need the TV show.
Yeah.
I'm saying that the TV show had a set of objectives to do, and it didn't clear them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, honestly, I don't think the TV show did a whole lot for Bucky or Sam. They really only had that one really great line in there.
It did a lot less for Sam. I mean, for Bucky than it did for Sam.
Yeah. You know, so... I'm excited for it. I love Sam as a character. I really do, and I'm very excited to see what happens with this. I think he can carry it. You know?
I think so too.
I don't think that he can't. And I mean, even if he can't, he's going to be across from Harrison Ford.
Yeah,
who is a fucking master. And I've actually heard from a couple of like a lot of different places are saying that his Red Hulk is actually fantastic.
Oh,
so now. What it's going to come down to, right? Because love him or hate him, in the words of Vince McMahon, they only remember the finish, kid. What it's going to come down to is, from the trailers, we're fairly certain that the third act of this movie is going to take place on the aborted celestial baby. And they've already said adamantium, is going to be a thing, so that's cool. But if they have him fight Red Hulk 1v1 at the end of this movie, I think the collective sigh from the fans may be heard around the world.
Even for a comic book movie, that's a tough sell.
Yeah.
That's a tough sell.
Yeah. Because you're either going to have to make Sam ridiculously overpowered, and he doesn't even have the super soldier serum.
Right.
He's basically Tony Stark here. Like 95% of his power is from the suit.
Yeah.
The rest of it is from him training with the shield.
And I guarantee you, Tony Stark in his best armor doesn't want to get punched by the Hulk.
Yeah, no. That's why he made a separate suit for it.
Right.
That repairs itself. Yeah. And like his normal suit goes inside of that suit. Yeah. Yeah, and Bruce is a friendly.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, if they can get cute enough and creative enough with that fight, I can still be immersed. But that's going to be the main thing. Can they do that fight and keep me immersed?
The people who wrote the show are writing this movie. Did you know that?
I did not know that. No, I did not, Caleb.
Yep.
Okay.
So, do you think that those people are gonna be creative enough for that fight? You have to be Brandon fucking Sanderson to pull that off.
Right.
He could pull it off.
Yeah.
If you told me that he was writing this, I'd be like,
okay,
great. I mean,
yeah.
I'd be in this theater right now waiting. I already got my ticket. They'll be like, we need this theater for other. Yeah, okay, I'll wait out.
I'll wait. Yeah. So this needs to be said, right, for people who maybe are on the other side of this and want to defend the 1v1 fight by saying, well, Sam, his suit was made by the Wakandans. It's like adamantium or vibranium or whatnot.
Yeah.
Still, Black Panthers get the heart-shaped herb, which is like a natural super soldier serum.
Right, yeah.
Sam doesn't have that either.
Yeah.
You know, and so like I'm sorry, but it's going to be a tough sell to show Sam Wilson getting punched by the Red Hulk
and being alive.
Yeah.
And like, the Black Panther doesn't want to fight Hulk neither.
No.
And he has the super soldier serum and a suit that absorbs fucking physical force.
So
nah, bruh.
Yeah, man. Like, and I know that Falcon is extremely talented and capable, but a Hulk is a Hulk is a Hulk. You know.
What if they have the whole scene where Red Hulk Hulk's out or whatever, and then you just hear Bruce be like on your left and punch the shit out of him.
That would get a pop out of me.
Because I'm gonna be honest with you, like I think that if it ends up being Sam and Bruce versus him, that would be amazing.
I think so too. That would be great. That's the move.
Yeah. They have to do that. But if they're gonna do that, they should not show it at all.
Yeah. In
any of the fucking trailers for any reason. Like, do not show the Hulk.
Yeah. Man, we haven't even really talked about that. How we feel about Thunderbolt Ross returning? He's just completely over his tiff with Bruce, huh?
I mean, we don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Because, did he get snapped? We don't know that, right?
Huh. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know if he got snapped or not.
Yeah.
Because we haven't seen him since Infinity War.
Yeah. Yeah, we saw him in no, wait, was he in Endgame?
I don't think so.
It was Infinity War.
I think the last time that we saw him was him telling Rhodey to arrest them.
We saw him in either Infinity War or Endgame, and I feel like it was.
It was Infinity War.
Oh, okay, it was.
Because he tells them to arrest him.
Oh, that's right.
When Cap and Natasha and Falcon show up.
Yeah, you're right.
And then Rhodey's like, cool, and then he hangs up on him. Yeah. Which, by the way, Skrull.
That was a Skrull that did that.
Rhodey can't be held accountable for any of that shit. That was a Skrull.
We need to get his update. You know, like his debriefing has got to be damn near as intense as like Steve Rogers when he was unthawed.
It's the whole first 3 episodes of Armor Wars.
Oh shit!
You think he cameos in this movie?
I don't think so. It would make sense, but I don't think he will. But yeah, if what's his name? If Bruce Banner is in this movie, he's doing a hell of a job. They're doing a hell of a job of keeping it under wraps.
Surprisingly,
Yeah,
that would be amazing.
yeah, I would love that.
I think they got to put him in.
It makes sense, right? To put Bruce Banner in this movie.
Because I heard that they're also going to put his daughter in. I heard rumors that Liv Tyler was going to be reprising her role in this.
Interesting.
And if that's the case, Bruce has to be in it, right?
He's got to be in it, yeah.
I mean, that movie is canon.
It is canon.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, Ross hates this motherfucker.
Right.
As a matter of fact, we've never seen them interact.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, we've never seen Bruce and Ross in the MCU interact.
Yeah.
Proper,
Yeah.
I mean, we saw it in, obviously, the Edward Norton Hulk movie, but, like...
We've never seen Ruffalo and...
yeah.
Because he was off-world in Civil War.
Yeah. Yep. So, yeah, it's just surprising that that's never happened. That's like when you find out that Piccolo and Vegeta never fought. You're like, really?
Yeah.
That seems like it should have happened.
Well, because Piccolo would probably be dead.
Well, yeah. Well...
He's died before.
Yeah, he's died before. Piccolo does the cool thing when he shows up and makes the cool, entrance and then gets washed.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got a Clayface movie on the horizon.
We do.
That is going to be, I think, very interesting. It's going to be a low budget movie. It's going to have a budget of about $40 million reportedly. And, I mean, Alan Tudyk, I'm assuming, has got to play Clayface in this, since he is Clayface in for like all things DCU now. And this movie will be a DCU movie. It will not be a Matt Reeves universe thing.
Yeah.
I am curious to see what this is about. I think that Clayface is a great choice for a Batman villain in a movie. I don't know how I feel about a Clayface solo movie, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
And they've also already said that they won't really paint him as a villain. So I'm curious, what are you going to paint him as? Is he just going to be like a straight up good guy? Is this going to be Darkman?
Right, yeah.
So yeah, I don't really know what to expect from this. I guess what I can say in like this movie's defense is there is a Batman run that came out at this point maybe 8 years ago now. I got the Omni of it on the shelf. Is Batman and the Rise of the Batman. But anyways, it's Clayface is on that team. He's a good guy there. He does make a turn, But just like we say with Venom, you got to get him there first. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with Clayface as a good guy, and then how they just go about doing that.
We're not going to get this, but I would love Cillian Murphy as Clayface.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's a little choice.
Yeah. He would absolutely kill it.
Yeah.
But we're not going to get that.
Yeah, no.
They're not going to...
He's River Scarecrow.
Yeah. And he's also untouchable now. Like, he's an A-lister,
Yeah.
Motherfucker's Oscar winner.
Right. Is it weird that I'm excited for 28 years later when I didn't care for 28 days later?
Is he going to be in that?
From what I hear, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually meant to go back and watch the original, the first two again.
I need to.
Because the new one is coming out.
Yeah. Yeah, I only seen the first one once, and I was like 16 or whatever.
I liked it. I think out of all the zombie movies in that vein, I really liked it. Like, obviously Zombieland is the best zombie movie, but it's more of a parody of zombie movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I liked the first two. Mm. And yeah, I mean, him being in that is like a weird, crazy thing, right? And it kind of tells you that it's going to be something to it.
Yeah.
Because he has his pick now. He can be whatever he wants.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, Speaking of Scarecrow, Matt Reeves has confirmed that they are going to be shooting next year for Batman 2.
Yep.
And they are targeting an October 2026 release.
Yep.
He also said that he's pitched season 2 of Penguin to Warner Brothers, and that may be a thing that happens. I would only assume that the first one was a big success for them.
Yeah. I typically would say that they would absolutely go ahead and greenlight Penguin season 2, but they've made some weird decisions here lately.
Yeah, like filming 2 movies and then deleting them.
That is definitely one of them. Why don't you just save the goddamn movie? I'm not saying put it out, but did you have to delete it?
I think that they were afraid.
Yeah.
They were afraid. Yeah, the tax write-off.
Yeah.
I think they also were afraid that they would get leaked.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
So.
One more thing about the Clayface movie. It is aiming for a release date of September 11th, 2026.
Okay.
And what's his name? Mike Flanagan is he's not expected to direct, but he originally was attached to the project, which is interesting. Mike Flanagan, he's big on the horror genre.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to get that and then Batman 2 like right after.
Mm-hmm.
So,
especially since they're not connected, you know.
Right.
Yeah, because based on comments from James Gunn, the movie will be set in the DCU as opposed to the Batman director Matt Reeves' Batverse.
Right.
So, but it would be a full-on horror movie according to current rumors and reports.
Well, we're not going to have Batman and Robin before then, are we?
I don't think so. Because they haven't said anything about that since they did the original announcement.
Yeah, I mean, if that was coming out in 2020, you don't drop Batman and Robin and Batman 2 in 2026.
Right. Yeah, that'd be weird.
Yeah.
It's still called Brave and the Bold? Yeah. Yeah, no, they got nothing on that yet.
I'm telling you now, Warner Brothers Discovery ain't spending any money on any of that shit until they see how the Superman movie does.
You're probably right.
And I'll say too, you got to keep in mind with this Clayface announcement is that it's very early on. The shit might not even happen.
They could very well cancel it. Even though it is like low risk because they're not spending a whole lot of money on it. At the point where WB or Max Discovery is at, they might still do it.
Disney has been failing to put a Star Wars movie in theaters for 6 years.
And it's Star Wars.
And that's Star Wars.
Yeah.
That is the original blockbuster series. So until they say they are filming the shit, pretty much you can assume that it may not happen. And with Warner Brothers, even after they filmed it, you can't be sure they're going to put it out.
Right. Yeah, we know that for a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah. Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow has a current release date of June 26, 2026.
I'm really excited for that. Tremendously excited.
I admit that this is a hot take. I may be the only person on the face of this earth who read Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow and did not like it.
I have not read it.
I have it here whenever you want it. I
just love Kara as a character, and I really like the actress.
Yeah.
So,
the book has been highly touted, like highly regarded. People love it, and they rant and rave about it. It's written by Tom King, who is actually the co-writer of The Button, but I always give the credit to Joshua Williamson, who is the other writer on The Button.
Because I know Tom King's hit or miss for you.
Very much so. Yeah.
And this was a miss.
Was
it like awful, or it was just nothing special?
It wasn't for me. I'll say this. I don't think this bad. The book just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
I couldn't. As a matter of fact, I need to go back and read it again because I didn't finish it. I had it for like 3 months. And
not the DNF.
Yeah. And I got through like half of it and I was like, I'm good, man. I'm good. I remember at one point where I put it down. It was a scene about washing your hands that was like 2 pages long about hand washing. And I was like, y'all said that this thing was like the most amazing, heart-touching book you've ever goddamn read. I hate the internet.
Oh, you know, you saying that made me think about this. This is like breaking news, but this actually came out like since I got here. But you know, Sanderson's been working on a prose version of White Sand. And everybody's just kind of like grown, just spent like a fuck ton of money on this graphic novel.
Right.
But he said that they're both going to be canon because a lot of people were really worried that the prose version was going to be like canon, and then the graphic novel is just now this. And he was like, no, I'm going to keep the story as close as possible to the graphic novel. Obviously, there's going to be extra details in there that you can't get in the graphic novel, but that they're both canon, and he's going to stay as close to it as possible. So that made me very happy.
Yeah. Yeah, because I can completely see a world where the graphic novel is now, like, de-canonized.
Yeah, and a lot of people, myself included, were upset about that. But he more so wants it that he wants people to be able to experience it in whichever format.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
I'm always better off with more choices. But don't decanonize the graphic novel that we just waited a year for.
Waited so long for that book.
Yeah.
God damn.
It is great.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, not saying the prose version won't be great. I'm just saying, like, I don't want to have to read that shit.
Yeah.
Because I've already read the story. So.
Yeah, you already know what to expect, you know?
Yeah. And I want the graphic novel to be canon. I think it's fine like it is.
Right.
So.
I'm trying to think what else we got. I know that the two big pieces of news were Superman and Sony.
We knew we were going to talk about that Superman trailer for a minute.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't. I'm sure we'll think of something as soon as we get out of here.
As these things go.
But yeah, that is kind of how it goes. I was kind of hoping that we would get some Dune Part 3 stuff going, but we haven't really heard anything out of Denis. What
we know now about it is it's bad news for Dune 3, but probably good news for the Batman sequel. Dune 3 has lost its cinematographer, who's the cinematographer for the Batman.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, man.
Yeah.
Greg Fraser?
Yep, that's it.
So he won't be working on that?
No.
That's awful.
Yeah.
That's concerning. Did they say why?
No.
Ugh.
People are speculating maybe it's, I don't know if this is going to conflict with like the Batman sequel, and I don't know.
Yeah, that's awful, man.
Yeah.
He's the best in the business.
He's phenomenal.
Is he tied to Batman too? I mean, maybe it's just a scheduling
Yeah, it could
thing.
be a scheduling
But
thing.
you'd think Warner Brothers would.
Yeah, it's Warner Brothers.
They're both Warner Brothers projects. Like, why are you gonna rob Peter to pay Paul here? Like,
right.
And you're Peter and Paul.
But they're like, we don't want to pay anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I saw that I think yesterday, and that really kind of took me back because, man, like, you would imagine that they definitely wanted to keep that motherfucker. Didn't he win an Oscar?
Yeah.
So his rate's probably...
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's coming off, and he works with Denis a lot.
Yeah.
So that's actually surprising, man. I don't know who they're gonna get. They better call up Christopher Nolan and be like, who do you use?
Mm-hmm. He's like, Craig Fraser.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I'm gonna tell you, Interstellar made absolute bank again when they just re-released it. And I'm like, they just need to put Interstellar in IMAX like all the time.
And just keep
just everywhere.
Yeah.
You're like, every Thursday or whatever,
right.
They just have an Interstellar. Kay talked about this a little bit on the 2024 retrospective that we did, and like how that's such a different movie in the theater.
Yeah, she did say that.
And yeah, man, it's incredible. So I would, I think they just need to at least put it out every year. Eventually the box office is just going to be absurd because they just keep putting it out and people keep going to see it.
I would like to see it again in theater.
The IMAX tickets to like go see it in legit IMAX, they were sold out for the whole time.
Wow.
That it was out, yeah.
I do have a correction to make.
Okay.
About Dune 3. Dune 3 is now expected to begin filming in 2026 instead of 2025 as earlier reported. This opens the door for Greg Fraser to return as a cinematographer for both Dune 3 and The Batman 2, which films next year.
Oh, fuck yeah. Okay. Okay, so that's great news.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Interstellar was only playing in 321 theaters nationwide. It still made $3.6 million.
Damn.
And it was number 7 on the box office.
That shit made more than Craven.
Yeah, it made double the per theater total that Moana and Wicked made.
Wow.
Yeah, the re-release helped Interstellar cross the 200 million mark domestically. And for a worldwide cumulative haul of 642 million.
Shoot.
Yeah. It was originally only going to play in theaters for 1 week, but Paramount extended the run due to high demand. It was only in 165 theaters originally, and it made $4.6 million.
That's a Paramount movie?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I just assumed it was WB.
Yeah. And what's crazy is at 165 screens and $4.6 million, that means that the per theater amount was $27,000 per theater.
Yeah.
By comparison, Moana 2, which won the weekend, was only $12,000 per theater. So the theaters this movie was in, it packed the fuck out.
That's impressive.
And I'll tell you too, I went to go see Wicked again this past Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And holy shit, man! Like, I'm glad I bought our tickets in advance because there was like no open seats in that theater.
Damn.
And that shit's been in the theaters for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try that with Craven.
Oh, they should put it back out.
Yeah, they should.
Just Sony, you know what? We just were busy.
Yeah,
everybody was busy.
Yeah, we didn't know.
Just put Craven back out, man.
Give us the Craven cut.
How long do you think before Craven ends up on streaming?
By the time we get done recording.
Oh, all right, folks. We've reached the point where we're just bullshitting now.
Yeah. We've hit the point of critical mass once again, and it's only going to go downhill from here.
Yeah, so
if we keep going up for us, but down for you.
Yeah, I mean, the best you might get after this is like we might invent some new Dick and Nips flavors.
I was going to say, as soon as we start mentioning Dick and Nips, that's when you know it's time to wrap it up.
Yeah.
By the way, I did speak to the homie committee, and they said that they will consider the superhero homie condoms. They didn't give me a definite.
No, I'm not. I want a waiver for that.
Okay,
because
so think about it like this: if it doesn't work right in the way that condoms typically do or should, we have the protection of saying, well, our condoms make your dick superhuman. Therefore, even the amazing protection that our condoms provide isn't enough to maintain all of the massive awesomeness that is your penis.
We'll just do like everybody else and put in the fine print that they're only like 95% effective.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So that'd be excellent.
You rolled a 1, motherfucker. Yeah. Too bad.
And I think I can find a source that can get us like cheap animal balloons, for a pretty good price. So I think that we're in business. By the way, guys, the merch store is coming soon.
That's true.
So,
the next time that you see me on camera, my hope is that I will be wearing a brand new Superhero Homies t-shirt.
Goddamn right.
So, we've got some samples coming in. Obviously, we want to make sure that everything is of the highest quality before we put it out to you guys. I think the pricing is very reasonable. The hoodie is kind of expensive, but it's a zip hoodie, folks. I mean, the creme de la creme.
Creme de la creme.
Nobody wants a pullover hoodie.
That's
fucking
true.
Trash.
That's true. That hurt my feelings. I have a few pullover hoodies, but I do prefer the zip ups.
Yeah. Everyone loves a zip hoodie. I can't tell you how many hoodies I probably would own, which is crazy because I rarely wear them.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just like we live in Georgia. It's not cold enough here. I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt like 360 days out of the year.
True.
Damn near. It just ain't cold enough for me. But I'll wear a hoodie just for the pockets. But not if it's a pullover hoodie.
Pullover hoodies are good for days when I'm not wearing nothing else underneath it.
If I'm going to live in the hoodie, a pullover hoodie's fine, but I'm never going to.
That's true, because I try not to do that because I don't want to live like a teenager no more.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I have a teenager, and he wears a hoodie pretty much all the time. Yeah. Not there's anything wrong with it. I'm not judging.
I mean, you know.
Speaking of the Homie Committee.
Yep.
When are we thinking about doing the Homie Awards?
That would probably at this point have to be at the first of the year. The committee and myself have not had time to put up the polls yet for all of you guys to vote on to decide what movies or TV shows will win and in what categories. But that will be up, and that way you guys will be able to cast your votes, get those in, and and let us know why Deadpool and Wolverine takes everything.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Last year I had a lot of stake in whatever you guys were gonna decide because I just really wanted you all to put the Marvels over, mainly to piss him off, and you did, and I'm very proud.
Yep.
I
almost ended the podcast.
Yeah, just in case you weren't sure which film I was talking about, I'm talking about the 2023 seminal Homie Award winning The Marvels. This year, I'm kind of just like, oh well. There are not a lot of great options for you guys to pick. There's only one great option, and then everything else is kind of mess. So, I can't wait for Craven to get like no votes. There'll be that one asshole, right? That's just a contrarian.
Oh yeah. Well, no, that guy's gonna vote for Joker too.
Oh yeah. I keep my brain keeps trauma deleting that movie. So.
Oh yeah. Well, homies, that's gonna be it for now. So keep an eye out for the merch store. Keep an eye out for the Homie Awards voting ceremony. Keep an eye out for new episodes. It's gonna be a lot of new cool shit coming down the pipeline. So
we do have a lot to talk about.
We do. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed this episode and this comic news episode. And the Superman Sony special with friends.
You gonna hit him with the button on the way out?
You know, why not? Hit him with the button on the way out.
Breaking news, this just in. You're listening to the cosmic, world-breaking, magnificent, multiversal, mega-talented news anchors, the superhero homies. And this is Comic News. Comic News.
I pay that guy way too much money, I think, but he does a great job every time. Yep. Well, guys, this has been another episode of the Superhero Homies podcast, and this has been another just fun time. What can I say? Hopefully you guys enjoyed this half as much as we did, but until next time, my name is Superhero Homie Q.
And I'm Superhero Homie Caleb.